Hey guys, so this is my first YouTube video, and the reason why I'm filming today is because something happened to me today that I need to share with you guys. So today I tried to get my license, which did not go so great as I would like it to. So I thought I was prepared, but a lot of things happened. I got my car late, and that's a total different story. Like, it's just ridiculous. I only drove it like a couple times, so that kind of messed everything up. So I wasn't really used to it, I guess you could say. But yeah, like I went to the DMV closest to my house, and when I got there, I was thinking, okay, I'm okay on something. Like, I mean, I could be better. Like, my parallel parking, I haven't done it for like a long time, and that's kind of not good. But I mean, I talked to like a lot of my friends, and they said that if parallel parking is not really good for you, that don't stress it, because then you can like you won't automatically fail it, and like just don't hit the poles, then you'll be fine. I was just like, okay, well, that's something I can do, hopefully. So I was thinking like, oh, I hope parallel parking doesn't like fail me, but we'll just see what happens. So I went to the DMV, drove there, and so they have you like pull up to this window, and they ask for like your paperwork and everything. And so I give them like my paperwork. Like, you have to bring your proof of completion of behind the wheel, and then your permit, obviously, and then your was your yeah, I think that's it. Just those three things, right? So you have your white card, then your permit, and proof of insurance. So just those three. And so then, everything looked good. And then they'd have you like check like your turn signals, whatever. If you had me like turn on my turn signals, and my horn, and like the brakes to see if they were working right. And I guess apparently my center brakes are out, the center light brakes, so that's not good. But anyway, he said that if I did fail my test, I would have to come back with those brakes fixed, and I wouldn't be able to take the test again. So, okay, not a problem, whatever. So then after that, he told me to go into, so he gave me, actually, wait, he gave me everything, all of my paperwork and stuff, and then he gave me a list of, like a checklist of like all the like the parts of my car, like from the inside. So I'm talking about like turn signals, like windshield wipers, and like the defroster and your seatbelts, and like pretty much all the basics. So I was just like, okay, I know where all this stuff is. So then my instructor comes in the car, and he was probably about like 30 to 40 years old, and he just looked like he had a crappy day. So he just asked like how my day was, and I was like, oh, it's going good. And then I asked him how his day was, and he was like, oh, it's fine. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then he had me go through the checklist, like, oh, he was showing me how to turn on your turn signals, or like your defroster, your hazard lights, etc., etc., etc. Okay, I got all that stuff done. And so, like, if you don't know that stuff, I suggest you guys know that stuff down, because then they'll fail you, like, automatically if you don't know that stuff. So then, he was like, okay, proceed whenever you're ready. And I was just like, okay. So I like put the car in drive, and we like go, and he's like, I'm gonna have you go into this lane, and then we're gonna take right. So I'm like, okay. So I go in the lane he tells me to, and then like we're just sitting there, because there's like a car in front of me. He's not even moving. It's just like there's somebody like on the side, like just on the side, like the sidewalk, and just like talking to them. And I'm just like, okay, that awkward moment. So I'm like, do you want me to go past them? Like, what do you want me to do? I don't know. You're the driver. Okay, so I just went on my merry way. I passed them, checked, I turned my head and put on my turn signals and passed. And I was just like, okay, whatever, attitude. So then after that, he just kept on telling me, take right here, turn left here, yada yada yada. And just like, okay. And then I suggest you, if you're like, turning, or if you're in an intersection, make sure you're like always looking, like over dramatically, not like just like with your eyes, but like actually like your neck is like turning everywhere, like left to right, because they can't see your eyes. And so then they're gonna like mark you like, oh well, he or she didn't look, blah blah blah. I was like, but I did. But no, yeah, do that. Saves you a lot more time. But yeah, so I did that, and then he had me pull up, the parallel park, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm not good with parallel parking. Like, oh, that's not good. And so, they always tell you, like, at least all of my friends tell you, like, don't panic, don't freak out, like, you got this, whatever. You want to make them see, like, you want to show them, like, you are not in a panic in a situation, you just stay under control. So I was just like, okay, like, knowing me, like, I have not done this parallel parking in forever, and it's like, I'm just gonna try to work it out. So I pulled my car up to the poles, that first pole, and like I made it like line up with that bar in my back of my window, and then I just like swung my car into the poles, and then as soon as like that pole hit like probably like the middle, like the back end of my car, that's when like I went in there. But like it kind of took me a couple of tries to like get in in that spot, and then even to get it straight time took a little bit of time. So like I'm just rocking back and forth, like trying to get it just perfect. But the thing is, it's just like, come on, like, you see people driving all the time, and you see them try to parallel park, and like they're not gonna get it like that, like just in a couple seconds. I mean, now, like, seriously, it takes them a couple of tries, especially if like the space is really tight, like really. So you only get, I think, like 3 tries, to get everything perfect, and it's like that's just stupid. But it took me a couple of tries, and so then I put the car in park, and he looked outside, and he was just grunted and came back in. And was like, okay, whatever. And then he had me leave out of this space. So I turn on my signal, to leave out, turn over, checked, my blind spot, looked over my shoulder, whatever, yada yada yada, that. And then I left, and then, he just kept on telling me to turn left, turn right at this intersection, and I would suggest, if it's an obstacle course like I was doing, I would, keep in mind about your speed limit because it's not posted. What I did was I went like 25, I think. Not bad. It was like, 25 around there. Not too slow, not too fast. Yeah, that's what I did. But you wanna like not be really slow, of course, and you don't wanna be really fast on this obstacle course. And plus, being in Minnesota, like it's super icy and slippery, and our weather sucks. So yeah, I was just like, oh heck, I'm not gonna go fast. But yeah, so just take it easy. But he had me, come up to this curb. We're facing, I think we're facing uphill, and yeah, it was uphill. And so I was like, okay, cool, I got this down. I know how to park uphill. So when you're parking uphill, you want to turn your wheels like away from the curb, so that way the back of your tires are like touching the curb. So that way if your parking brake happens to fail, you're sliding down that way. But you want to put your emergency brakes on too, so as well. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so he got a car, and he was like checking it out, whatever. Still didn't say anything, and he got in, and then he was like, take it right here, da da da. So I was like, okay. So I did that, and then yeah, it was annoying. Like I hate this course, honestly, I do. So he had me take a right, and I went. See, this is the thing that screwed me up. was I went into a one-way, but I didn't know because the signs weren't posted up. So it just really messed me up. I was just like, oh, because in my head I was thinking like, okay, this isn't food right, but I don't know, like, it's weird. But he like automatically told me this is the one way, get on the other side of the street. I was like, oh crap, this is the test, this is it, I failed, I know I did. And so, cause that's like a critical error, I was like, oh dang. So after that, he had me like pull into the DMV again, and then he was just like, this is what happened, work on this. No duh. Just that just really made me mad. He was just like, you have to work on your one ways, like learning what lane to get in and stuff like that. I was like, okay, yeah. And then, everything else was fine. And he was like, it did take you a while to do parallel parking. It was just like, no, duh, I got that, alright. It's just like annoying. He was like, but you can come back again next week. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Well, that's just a week. It's not like 2 weeks or like a month where it's like, oh, dang. But, for the most part, I feel like I did good. And it was just that one way that messed me up big time. Because I'm pretty sure if I did not do that, like, huge mistake, then I probably would have got my license today. But you know what? I did it. So, yeah, it kind of sucks for me. But, I would say for the most part, if you guys are going to take your road test, you guys need to be really prepared, like brush up on like anything that you feel you're insecure about, definitely, and take everything slow, make sure you're looking at your blind spots and changing lanes right, and not getting into the wrong lanes like I am. And that's pretty much it. I mean, and to study the book, thoroughly, and I know that's a lot of work, but still, it'll help. And yeah, other than that, you'd be pretty good. Yeah, so just take everything slow, and I think you'd be fine. You'd be fine. But hopefully, the second time, I'll get it right. So yeah. But I will be making more videos, more like ranting and, need to rant and makeup and clothes and stuff like that. So hope you guys check it out. Thanks for watching.